What's crazy is how many times that I've discussed or talked about the Heat in the past, and the exact same question brings up again. How long are we staying in the Jimmy Butler era for the Miami Heat? So last year, so Jimmy Butler, for the first time in a cool minute, he actually missed the entire playoffs last year. First round, but still the entire playoffs for him. He missed the playoffs for the first time in a while. And they got smacked by the Celtics. The Celtics had to get them up out of there. They ain't got time for the Heat. As a return, Jimmy Butler was talking his smack, saying, if I was there, this would have been a whole different results, et cetera, et cetera. Which led to Pat Riley was like, players need to be shut their mouths if they're not on the court. They need to close it. That's not the first time Jimmy Butler got into it with one of the veteran Heats, because if you guys remember back a few years back, Jimmy Butler and Eric Spoelstra got into it, and old school, what's his name? I forgot my man's name. Udonis Haslem had the break come into it, and pretty much push Jimmy Butler back, because it's like, hey, no, he been here for a while. You brand new still. You ain't no Heat yet. You might be one of the best Heat players in all time, but you gonna have to back up. This coach right here, you gonna have to watch your tone. So that's not the first time this happened, and of course Jimmy wants a payday. He is a free agent coming into next season. In the 2025 all season, he will be a free agent, and he wants to get paid. But he's 34 years old. He don't try in the regular season. How do we know? He said it himself. I do not try in the regular season. I'm all about the playoffs. Cool. That's fine. There's some players who are meant for the playoffs, and there's some players who are meant for the regular season in the playoffs. There's some does both, some don't. So for Jimmy, this is going to be interesting, because what if the Heat don't pay him? You know what I'm saying? Is it going to be rubbed the wrong way or so? Or what do you have it? Because in my personal opinion, I'm ready to move on from the Jimmy Butler era. I said this. I think I said this a couple years ago. I said I was done with the Jimmy Butler era. I think I was like, he got what you got, right? I think this is before the second finals run. I said he gave you whatever you want, but we're in this time to where the team is younger, he's older, and the only way the only reason why they can still compete in the way they is because Jimmy Butler's on the team, and so they're gonna keep getting veteran players to add instead of getting players that fit around, in my personal opinion, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero. And now, when you look at the team now, if you take a look at the team, the players over 30, Alex Burke, Jimmy Butler, you got Kevin Love, you got Terry Rozier, who just hit 30, and Duncan Robinson, I think he's 32, Josh Richardson too. So you have those players who are 30 compared to the Bam era, which involves Bam being in the middle of his prime, literally in the middle of his prime. We just saw what he did in the Olympics. He hit in threes, elite defense. I think Bam is ready to play the power forward position, because they got Khalil Ware, who looked really good in Summer League. He looked really good in Summer League, and if that version of Ware is coming over and he can continue to be a rim protector, a rebounder, and a lob catcher, that's all you need to allow Bam to play the power forward position. See, now you can start switching players around. You know what I'm saying? The fact that the Heat didn't do absolutely anything, they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything this offseason because they felt like Terry Rozier was their early offseason free agency. That's cute. I'll still be looking to add more talent. I'll at least for to add more point guards. I personally believe if I was them, I would have went out and see with Markelle Fultz. He's still a free agent. I'll call up Markelle Fultz and try to get him on the team, and maybe under the Heat development, he can develop into a certain type of player that can be added to Heat culture. Maybe he is Heat culture. He just don't know it until he gets there. I think he has. Of course, I still believe in Markelle Fultz. Let's just be honest here. I believe in Markelle Fultz. I believe Markelle Fultz is still a guy that can get you that potentially now. Like, we've been a years away from his draft. I still think he can probably give you 15 points, grab buck, and ditch out 5 to 7 assists a game and play some elite defense. I'm gonna take that back. To play good defense. I'm not gonna say elite. Let's play some good defense and just be a positive to a team. A championship team, a playoff team, doesn't matter. I think he can be a positive, and I think he can do that role. I don't know why they haven't called him up. I would call him up. But like I said, we're in the middle of we're still in that back and forth between the Jimmy Butler era and the Bam era. I think we should move towards the Bam era. I think they should go ahead and let Jimmy walk. Crazy, right? I know it's kind of crazy to say that in 2024 when people don't do that no more. But if you can't think of a trade for him, if you can't sign and trade him to someone where people is going to pay him the money that he wants, then let him walk and let him test his own free agency. He'll be back type deal. You know what I'm saying? That's why I look at it. You build around Tyler Hero, Bam, uh, Jaime Jaquez stepped up big time last year, which was, like I said, always great for them to keep on finding players like that. Josh Christopher could be a lightning in a bolt that we haven't seen yet. Jovic, playing in the Olympics, and playing the way he gets to play now. We'll see what kind of development he's going to get now. Khalil Ware could be that defensive monster they're looking for. That right there, those players I just named, that sounds a lot better right about now, and build around right about now for the starting lineup. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That sounds really good. Lineup is Hero. What am I thinking? If the lineup could be Hero, Josh Christopher, Jaime Jaquez, Thomas Bryant. I mean, not Thomas Bryant. Whoa, Bam, and then Khalil Ware. If Khalil Ware is not ready, that's fine. Then Bam stays at the center, and Jovic, he comes in and he starts, and then Khalil Ware develops into what they want. That's my personal opinion. I think it's time to get off the Jimmy Butler's era. I think it's time to move forward with the Bam era. I think they should build around Bam and create a championship level team that way. That way, when it gets to the playoffs, they're not waiting for Jimmy Butler to come in and save the day. Because believe it or not, when a star player like Jimmy Butler, is he a star player? Yeah, he's a star player. Let me stop lying. A star player like Jimmy Butler, when he takes a backseat in the regular season and let everybody else develop, that's cool. But when the playoffs hit and now he wants to get his shots, he wants to do all this stuff, to me, it kind of screws up the team a little bit, because a lot of the shots that they was surrounding around, I don't know how many shots you get. Let me just say Jimmy Butler takes 15 shots a game. If you take away those 15 and you give the extra to Tyler, Bam, Jovic, Jaime Jaquez, whoever's out there, they get those touches. They split them up to get those touches. That does good for them. But Jimmy Butler's there. He's taking all 15 back, and those players reduce their roles again. And after a while, it kind of screws it up. Quite honestly, it kind of screws them up long term wise. In my personal opinion, it screws them up long term wise. But that's why I'm more in favor of moving on from Jimmy and allowing the Heat to enter their next phase. In my personal opinion. Once again, my personal opinion is just that, my personal opinion. That's just me, though. What do y'all think? 'Cause I know Heat culture, I know Heat fans, they're on this back and forth with Pat Riley. Sometimes Pat Riley feel like Pat Riley's going to be doing great. He's going to get X, Y, and C. And other times, nothing happens, and they're just stuck what they stuck, and they just hope a miracle run happens again. 2 finals appearances. Lost both finals appearances under the Jimmy Butler era. Conference finals appearances. A war against the Celtics. That's all nice and stuff that looks good on paper, but at the end of the day, we're looking for a championship, and Jimmy's just not that guy to lead y'all fully into an NBA championship. That's my personal opinion, of course. Now, Jimmy Butler was like 27 years old, and he was doing all this stuff leading up to it, or he was 28. He was 29 years old. And when he was 25, 26, 27, 28, and all these years that he's been with the Heat, and then he was doing that, and he was now entering 30, that's one different conversation. Because then I'm like, yeah, he can definitely do it, but we're past that now. We're past that, my personal opinion. But like I said, my personal opinion, Heat fans, let me know what y'all thinking. I know y'all was looking for those names, didn't hit on a single name. It's kind of irritating, and then you don't do absolutely nothing in the free agency. I know that gets to you. That has to get to you. If it doesn't, I'm surprised. You guys hit the like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know down in the comment section what you're thinking about this Heat. If you're Pat Riley sitting in that Heat chair, do you get rid of Jimmy Butler? Do you do a sign and trade, or you just let him walk in free agency? What would you do in that situation? And I'll catch you guys on the next NBA team.